Here's another geometry review of various subjects in the course, and the questions will be random topics. I'm going to show you how I'll do them, starting with this question right here. What is the converse? If the team won on Friday, then the team qualified for the tournament. Okay, so this one you have to know what converse means, and there are three terms in this group that can show you how to switch up a phrase, and they are converse, inverse, and contrapositive. Now, you can think of your own tricks to remember which is which and what happens to each statement when it's a converse, inverse, or contrapositive. And the way I like to do it is I start by remembering for sure what the inverse is. Inverse is usually always associated with something negative, like for example, x to the negative 1. And that's more of a different topic for another time, but just keep in mind that inverse is negative. So when it's an inverse, you're going to take the original statement, if the team won on Friday, you're going to put in the negative of it. So if the team did not win on Friday, then the team did not qualify for the tournament. So if I remember that, then I'll just kind of fill in the gaps for the other two. Converse is not related to negative like inverse is. Converse is just switching the phrasing around. So one trick I can use to remember this is I think of Converse like the tennis shoes, or I think they're just casual shoes, but that's a different topic. Converse, you switch your shoes. Sometimes you don't wear the same shoes every day. You switch them around. So you take the statement in geometry, converse, switch it around. You don't, like in inverse, negative, you don't negate your shoes. Converse, you don't negate your shoes. You switch them up. So converse is just switching it up. So that means I'm going to take, if the team won on Friday, that's going to go at the end now. So the second part, the team qualified for the tournament, that's going to go at the beginning. So it's going to be, if the team qualified for the tournament, then the team won on Friday. Like so, if the team qualified for the tournament, then the team won on Friday. That's the first one. And the other ones, if the team did not win on Friday, then the team did not qualify for the tournament. That's just what I mentioned earlier with the negative of it. So that's inverse, not converse. C, if the team won on Friday, then the team did not qualify for the tournament. Well, that's kind of inconsistent because the first part is just a regular statement, and the second part is negative, not. So that's not really anything. Scratch that out. And the last one, if the team did not qualify for the tournament, then the team did not win on Friday. That is the last thing, contrapositive. And in short, what contrapositive means, just look at the word contrapositive. It's kind of complicated, and that's exactly how it is. It's complicated. You not only switch the phrasing around, you put, if the team won, you put that at the last part, and you put the team qualified for the tournament, you put that at the beginning, like this. Tournament, qualifying, and then that's the beginning. The last part is did not win. But not only do you switch it around, and it's negative. So here are the two negative parts. Not qualified, not win. So that's what contrapositive. It's the most complicated one out of all these three, and you're going to notice how it is when you see a statement that's switched around and then you insert the negative part, not. Next question. The perimeter of a square is 48 centimeters. What is the length of each side? Well, in a square, all the sides are equal. That means I'll just use x for the side because I don't know the exact length of the side. So each of them is the same. They're all x. And perimeter means add up all the sides. So I have 1x plus 2x plus 3x plus 4x. 4x. And the perimeter is given as 48. 4x equals 48. What is the length of each side? I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides, and I get x equals 12. So each side is 12. So if I want to check, I just put 12, 12, 12, and 12. I add all these up, and it should give me 12, 24, 36, 48. So it's correct. B. Next question. Find the measure of angle 1 in the shape below. Now, this is going into the angle relationships given two parallel lines. So let's say these two lines here are parallel. Now, when that happens, there are certain groups of angles that are going to be congruent. That means the measures are equal. And one of those groups is alternating interior angles. Now, it's just as it sounds. Interior means inside. That means these two parallel lines, inside those two lines, there are angles that are interior and they're alternating. That means they're on opposite sides of this line here is called the transversal, opposite sides of the transversal. These two are congruent. And so are these. I'm going to use two marks here to indicate these two, here and here. They're alternating, they're interior. They are congruent. That means the measures are equal. So in here, imagine this is just like I have drawn on the side. One line, another line that's parallel. The line intersecting them is the transversal. So these two angles are interior and they are alternating. So whatever this one is also the same, 34 degrees. Next question. Line A is parallel to line B. Find the values of the angles below. Let's start with the first one, number 1. Over here, there are several different ways you can do this. Just, you know that these lines are parallel, so again, there's going to be relationships between the angles in which some of them are congruent. That means the measures are equal. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to extend this line right here, the transversal, and one of the congruent angles pairs is alternating exterior angles. So this is exterior, it's on the outside. The exterior of this, it's on the outside of these two parallel lines. The exterior on here is alternating with this one, so they're on opposite sides. They're not on the same sides like here and here. They're on alternating, so this and this one here are congruent. They're both 131 degrees. Once I know that, I can find 1 by, because these two angles make a linear pair, they're on the same line, they are supplementary, they're equal to 180 together. That means to find 1, I have to subtract 131 from 180. And that will give me 49 degrees. Angle 1 is 49 degrees. Next one, angle 2. Over here, there's several different ways you can do this. You can add these up. Again, linear pair. Well, these are 3 of them, so it's not really a pair, but they will all add up to 180. You can do 180 minus 71 minus 60 and get angle 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to start by finding this angle here. Okay, so when two lines are parallel and intersected by a transversal, alternating interior angles will be congruent. So this angle here will be congruent with this angle here. Now the thing is, this angle here is not just 71, it's 71 and 60. So 71 plus 60 is 131. So here is 131 degrees. Well, look at that. Notice how these are the same. Alternating interior angles. Now to find angle 2, I'm going to, now if the two angles are not alternating interior, but they're both interior and they're on the same side, they're going to be supplementary. That means they're going to be equal to 180. So 180 minus 131 is going to be angle 2 right here, whatever that measure is. And I already did 180 minus 131 over here, and I got 49 degrees. So angle 2 is also 49 degrees like angle 1 is. Now the third angle, angle 3, here we go. So let's extend this transversal. Now in line A and line B are parallel, that means, and they're intersected by this transversal, that means alternating interior angles are congruent. That means these angles here, they're both alternating on opposite sides. They're not on the same side, they're on opposite sides. And they are interior, they're inside of the two parallel lines. That means angle 3 is equal to this measure right here. Angle 3 is 60 degrees. And those are the angle measures, 49 degrees, and 60 degrees.